Okay, here we have the prototype minus the LED, and today we're going to make this into the new one, and we're going to change this LED into a bigger one, into this LED. And this LED, however, has a slight problem because it's completely clear instead of the frosted kind. It can only be seen from the front, which is a problem for us because we want to see it from all directions. So we're going to have to sand this down a little bit. We're going to then solder it onto this, and we're going to solder this also onto this, and then we're going to attach that to a new casing that can be then attached to the camera. And once we have it there, we can then see when the camera stops. And first we need to put a resistor on the new LED, because otherwise we're going to burn that thing out. And here is the LED. And we'll go ahead and we can then use the hemostats to hold the entire thing in place. And now it will hold it in place while we... And there we go. Soldering done. Then we can attach it to the like so. D2 and ground. We'll do the ground first. Go. Now that's done, then we need to connect these things to the microcontroller so it can actually use the sensor. And now that this thing has been programmed, we can test it. The sensor outside of the lights that I'm using to film this thing works fine because, oh yeah, it's because of the... Okay, now we need to mount it to the camera so that we can use it. After a couple of hours of work, and since I'm starting to run out of time, I made a basic case and just threw it on the printer with some default settings, and as we can see, that turned out very well with these bleeds everywhere. The calibrations are not correct for this print, or for this type of wall that I did. And the holes were not the correct size, so this can't come out more than this. Which then made me think. I realized that I originally was going to put this sensor here. Instead, now I placed the sensor here so that it comes to the camera like this. So this will be pointing forward instead of it being in the side. we need to use this piece that I made, which this part will go onto the tripod and to the bottom of the camera, and this will then mount on it like so, and the LED will be here. Problem with that is that this is not long enough for that, because I didn't originally design it to be this way, which means that we're going to have to use some other parts. In this case it will be this. We need to glue this here using the ABS glue, which we have here. And this is part of another failed project. This was supposed to be a probe thing, but the probe didn't want to stay here, so I'm going to use this useless bit for another thing. And I realized that by this sensor here. Okay, it's the next day and we have attached the device to the camera, or at least the bottom part, and what we found out was that it's not high enough and we need to go a little bit higher. And here we have the system. It's powered by this little USB lithium-ion cell, and the system itself is here on the other side. And once we turn the camera on, you get an immediate response that the camera has been turned on. And if we now turn on the recording, you get a pretty clear indication that the camera is recording. And if we now turn off recording, the light also goes off. So this is the very basic system. It's really ugly at the moment because of the whole, glued together contraption that this is. You could make this a lot better by making this entire thing into a one single print. But since this is just a stopgap measure, because we have a older camera that doesn't have a flip display, I'm probably not going to make a fancier case for this, because I don't need it myself, unless there's a huge outpouring that people actually want a device like this for some reason, then I might consider it. But that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.